hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today. Previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday, and interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Saturday. No, every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J., alongside Kalika Yachts and the American Scooter Dust.
Insert clever line here.
And it was a good week for Wrestling With, as we interviewed uh, Eli Sorge and Anova. Great interviews, great chats. Very different personalities for sure. And you should definitely go check out those interviews in the archives now. But this upcoming Tuesday, we have Mars the Specialist. Another Love Pro Wrestling wrestler. We talk everything 7. Some interesting food choices, especially in the Edmonton area. A car spinneroonie, and a lot more. So you definitely don't want to miss that. This Wednesday, we have Alyssa Marino, also an interview commentator for CCW, Grind, Blitzkrieg Wrestling, all of the above. And we talk all of that, a little bit CCW, a lot about serial opera, Power Rangers, even a little Spaceballs conversation as well. So you definitely want to check those out. If you don't believe me, here's a little snippet.
The time that me, TJ, Tony Machete, and the promoter's grandma-in-law, I believe is the technical term for it, we spun out on the road. As TJ Cannon put on his Facebook, we did a spinneroonie with my car. So we're driving back last winter, and I'm just doing the normal, just straight away, just hands down, just talking, whatever. And the woman in front of me, I don't know if she was on her phone or what she was doing, but she was just going straight and then just randomly started spinning out. And because of that, obviously I have to slam on my brakes, which caused me to spin out. And I don't know how I did it, because it was one of those things where, like, if I tried to recreate it without the adrenaline in me, I probably couldn't do it. But in that moment, I had such fight or flight reaction that I was able to somehow guide myself to park right on the side of the highway perfectly. And in that moment, I remember we spun out, parked somehow, and I just sat there, just like in genuine shock. I looked over at TJ, and he was like holding on for dear life. He's in genuine shock. Nana, as we call her, the promoter's grandma-in-law, she was in shock. And then there's Tony Machete. I don't know if he was high or that's just how he is normally. He had no clue what just happened, really. He was just sitting there. He's just like looking around. He's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What happened?"
No, we've been talking Let's Get Cereal. Can you tell us about Let's Get Coffee?
Oh, Let's Get Coffee, my one-off episode that I did with Vipress down in Florida. I think it was Mania week of, what was that, 2020? Yeah, it was down in Tampa. And our whole quest, the entire episode, was me trying to interview her and her saying, not until I've had my coffee. But then when she finally did get her coffee, which was a very elaborate order, may I also say, you can watch that episode on YouTube. And it is a very intense and in-depth order that she has over at Starbucks. She still didn't talk to me. So, it was kind of rude, but it's part of Vipress's charm.
It seemed like nobody wanted to talk to you on that trip.
I know, it was kind of rough. And then her and Andy were kind of getting into it. I was like, gosh, guys, come on. So funny. I haven't thought about that in a while, so I'm actually going to go back and watch that one. That was funny.
Alright. On the 14th, we got AJ Kazana. On the 15th, we got Joe Kazana. And on the 22nd, we have Anthony Andrews. Now that we're done putting ourselves over, um, it's a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news. One of the bigger things to happen this week. Um, Now, all of this is still coming out. Details are happening as we speak. But allegedly, Sonya Deville was in the car with Arn Anderson in New Jersey, as you are. Um, and somebody came up to the window while they were at a light, and uh, Sonya Deville put out her Glock and blew his brains out. She, you would think that's illegal in New Jersey, no, Scooter?
The, oh, yeah, that's clearly illegal in New Jersey. However, I have not heard anything about Sonia actually killing somebody with the gun. Um, she did. She was arrested for possession, but she never. It it wasn't on her persons. Um, she was at a restaurant, and it wasn't in New Jersey, but
I believe it was in New Jersey.
she wasn't with Arn Anderson, that's for sure. Uh,
So you're telling me she wasn't a bigger man than Cody Rhodes and get the deed done by taking out her Glock and killing the motherfucker?
well, as much as I'd love to play into this bit, um, Sonya is, of course, you remember back from 2021, 2020 actually. Sonya Deville had a stalker,
Yeah.
was caught, criminal, sentence and whatnot. She then got a license to carry in Florida for, self-defense. Um, she ended up uh, going to some restaurant, um, and the valet uh, looked in looked in the uh, glove compartment because Sonya Deville could not find the ticket. Atlantic City is the charge. Um, I don't buy the valet happened to look. I think the valet was honestly looking to take something.
Looking for those handicap stickers.
Oh my god, that's a whole nother racket here. But
Yeah.
she is her status is going to remain unaffected.
Yeah.
Um,
At the end of the day, it was just a misunderstanding. We're just making more
yeah.
of it than it actually is. Speaking of making more out of it than it actually is, Tony Khan said that we're getting more announcements and big announcements in 2023. What do you think these announcements could possibly be, Spooner?
Uh, I don't know. Probably something at pop ratings.
Tony Khan versus Tony Schiavone, best of seven, fuck you, Ariel Hawani tour.
At this point, yes. Uh,
Seems like that's the biggest rivalry going on in the AEW right now.
I mean, uh, I was I bought into that hype with the announcement, and it's just Oh, we're gonna get some. We're gonna bring you a behind the scenes show. Great. Who gives a shit?
It seems like he's just I don't even know how to say it. It's he excited for the most mundane things, and he expects us to be excited about them too. I mean, he's not exactly Ellen DeGeneres giving away uh, a $25 Starbucks certificates here.
But Tony Khan does dance like Ellen, so.
True. So you're taking these announcements with a grain of salt.
Actually, I'm pretty sure he's going to announce the signing of somebody whose initials are MM. And it's going to shock the world.
Uh, Montgomery.
Sure, let's go with that.
Sure.
There's sure to be some mayhem after this.
And actually he's not, but he's definitely not signing somebody with the initials BL. Because it is reported that Brock might be finishing up with with WWE soon. Maybe not leaving WWE, but taking a little bit of time off. Your thoughts on Brock leaving at probably the hottest he's been in WWE since returning in 2000 what 11?
He needs to really work on his moonshine recipe. So, might as well. I mean, Brock doesn't need to do anything else.
I mean, it's not a matter of needing to do anything else, but I mean, it did seem like he's been enjoying himself more lately in this current run that he has than he has in any other run. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the first time we really got to enjoy him as a face. But even so, he's still kind of treading the line. I mean, he was clearly the face in his match against Lashley, but then resorts to a low blow.
Hey, however you could get the job done, no?
Except he lost after that. So,
But he didn't tap out. But it does seem like a sour note ending on Omos.
yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of sour notes, Lacey Evans, um, getting some heat for some things she said. Not things she said, but resharing a story on Instagram of that all you need to cope with anxiety and depression is diet, exercise, a couple other things, and then the last one was in leaving people the fuck alone. Um, this and her anti autism post that it's just a myth at this point. This it's not a really good look for Lacey Evans, no?
I, well, first of all, Lacey Evans getting heat. Well, in other news, water is wet. Um, secondly, I will give $100 to anyone who goes up to Lacey Evans and just punches her right in her uterus. I swear to God, this is beyond ridiculous. Now, I mean, oh, all you need to do is this and blah 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 and Jesus and blah blah and leave people alone. No, that's how you make it worse. God, her child is gonna grow up on the corner of fucked up and depraved.
And
But again, he overstands $100 for a uterus punch.
definitely do not punch people, especially if they tell you on the show. We do not
I mean,
agree with the views of Scooter Dust. Send your hate tweets to Scooter Dust.
I will give $250 to anybody that can. Let's see, who else has a big uterus? Ah, I will give $250 to anybody that can punch
And we're moving
Big
on.
Bill right in his uterus.
I mean, it's you literally right in your face. He's so tall. Moving
All right,
on.
headbutt uterus.
Uh, just make sure with different circumstances where they were, Sonya Deville. Just putting that out there. Eddie Kingston quit AEW. And you'll find him on Ring of Honor now. It's hilarious that we get like 15 segments with MJF, but something that is as significant as somebody quitting the show is relegated to a Twitter post. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, hey, I mean, if Eddie Kingston wants more time, apparently he's got to, frame somebody for a car accident.
Well, I mean, he did, hit a kid with a car one time.
No, that story is stretched out. Actually, it's somebody hit his car with a kid.
Hmm. I know Scott Steiner was involved in somehow. This, if you don't know what we're talking about, Google Impact Wrestling. Wow, this show got really dark really
Hey,
quick.
hey,
Alright, what do we got next? Judgment Day. Maybe getting a new member in after WrestleMania. I kind of like the corn rendition of Judgment Day, but who could join Judgment Day and legitimately have people believe that they're a part of Judgment Day?
I saw somebody say, "Oh, you know, have WWE re-sign W. Morrissey and have him claim to be a variant of Edge
The Chase
and make him
variant
part
of
of
Edge.
make him a variant of a multiverse variant of Edge and put him in the Judgment Day."
Um, I
That clearly
mean,
never happened, but
we could get. She's already a heat-seeking missile, Lacey Evans.
mm, yeah, except the Judgment Day is not going to run with two women. I mean, they're not the Jericho Appreciation Society.
There's only one mommy.
Some
Um,
people have two. Some people have two mommies, and I call that the jackpot.
um, I mean, who else could really legitimately be a part of Judgment Day on the current roster that people would believe in?
Schism.
Oh, uh, Gacy. I could maybe see him.
Yeah, but Gacy really is more of a leader.
I mean, he could lead
He's
Judgment
not a
Day.
follower.
I mean, at
I
the end of
mean,
it, Rhea Ripley wasn't the leader of Judgment Day, and she kind of just fell into it. I could see where Joe Gacy starts as a follower and then comes in and takes everything on.
yeah, but then what happens to the dyad?
Who's that?
What happens to the former grizzled young veterans?
Um, put him with Lacey Evans.
Grizzled young veterans and Lacey Evans. Oh my God! Where's where's my gun? Crap! I lent it to Sonya.
uh, again, you know what? Let WWE figure it out this week. How about somebody that WWE really don't have plans for right now, and that's Riddle.
Yeah, you keep going like in and out.
Oh,
Who?
what about Riddle? They don't really have plans for him right now, and
He's still out though. He's still injured.
he was never injured to begin with. He got suspended,
Oh,
and
suspended, injured.
well, I mean,
No, 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 no. Riddle's the type of guy that can't be the type of character that a group like the Judgment Day is supposed to make you.
well, what happens to Riddle now? Because he's been off suspension for 6 weeks. He finished rehab. Um, and he's nowhere to be seen for WrestleMania.
Well, he's probably going to be the post WrestleMania return. Probably him and Randy.
Hey, but don't you put if Randy Orton's an option for WrestleMania, you want him on the card.
Yes, but not if he's been gone for so many months and he hasn't returned properly.
I feel like Randy Orton, you could really
You,
drop him in any situation and he'll make it work.
you, yes, but then you miss out on the people who are real, who primarily watch it for Randy Orton. And when you tell them Randy Orton, when you say, "Oh, he's not going to be there," and then he shows up, that kind of it puts a sour taste in the mouths of those fans. You can't if somebody is returning in time to compete at WrestleMania, it's gotta happen in January.
Well, I mean, again, Riddle, he's been heavily featured all year, and then to miss the biggest show of the year, um, does it kind of tell you what their thoughts are on Riddle?
Honestly, these days, no. Because there are going to be a few people that are not going to have a WrestleMania match. Maybe they start doing the Memorial Battle Royal again, and Riddle comes back and wins that.
Possibly. If they usually that's on SmackDown now. I did hear this WrestleMania they're looking to do less matches. I mean, 16 matches over 2 nights was last year. That doesn't honestly 8 matches a night. That just seems like a normal, decent card in my book. But how do you feel about them even slimming that down?
I would say they if they slim it down, they slim it down by 1 or 2 matches, and you either make it 7 each night, or you do 7 one night, 8 the next, or you bring it down to 13 matches in total, and you do it 6 and 7.
Hmm. Right. Unless there's a match that a match. Oh, a story you wanna bring up. I think we should.
Well, we do know that Roman and Cody will main event night 2.
Yes. I never thought that was not the ideal.
There were a bunch of times you're like, well, I think, nah, Roman and Cody would be better for night 1. I know I've heard you say that.
When The Rock was an option, but at last, The Rock will not be attending. Probably nobody's attending this WrestleMania. They got a crowd. They have 100,000 people crowd, but no wrestlers, no celebrities, no Hall of Fame, no access. Yeah, just sit in a SoFi Stadium for 3 hours like an asshole.
See, if they could like put up like a makeshift like mini hotel inside the stadium,
Yeah.
like where you could literally just have a bed there, go to sleep, and wake up, and boom, you're at WrestleMania already.
I don't care how expensive that would be. I would definitely do that.
I mean,
I only live 20 minutes away. the the traffic just to beat the traffic alone, it would be worth the money.
they're going to turn SoFi Stadium into So-So-Fi Stadium.
Yeah, can't agree more. Alright, that will conclude the news. And now a quick word from our sponsors. So,
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie Energy milkshake. First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off-brands out there that are presenting low-quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high-quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with AEW Revolution 2023. Takes place later today. Depending on when you're listening to this, it could be happening right now. It's in San Francisco, California, at the Chase Center. Looking at this card, honestly, I don't think much of it, if I'm being honest. Either way, I could probably skip it, but how do you feel about the card?
It's an okay card. I mean, I'm clearly not going to pay money for it. Like, never pay money for AEW pay-per-views. But I mean, yeah, it's a decent event. I mean, you would think that Tony would put more behind their first pay-per-view event in California.
You would think, and it just seems like other than one, maybe three of the matches where we knew was going to happen, the rest of the card was kind of just thrown together.
I mean, including a match with a really huge gimmick attached to it.
In a state that it don't, the state that it doesn't,
That wasn't that wasn't the match I was referring to, because that match was made weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm referring to the fact that we're getting AEW's version of a Buried Alive match.
Oh.
Christian Cage and Jungle Boy.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the pre-show match. Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Bros, wrestle, Ari Daivari and Josh Woods and Tony Nese with Mark Sterling in a 6-man tag match. Honestly, this looks like the most interesting match out of the whole card, and it's not even on the main show.
Ari Daivari. I just like that it rhymes.
I'm surprised they haven't renamed him Ariel Helwani.
Ariel, I'm going to Helwani. I mean, okay for this. I mean, yay.
I mean, still who's gonna win the match, but who wins the match?
You know, no matter who is facing off against Ari Daivari and the Varsity Athletes, they'll win. Whoever the opponents are, the Varsity Athletes will always lose.
Alright,
So the Lucha Bros and Mark Briscoe. If anything, this kind of shows you that it's it's. I think it's really time to for Penta and Ray to really pursue those singles careers
I mean,
because
considering how light they are on, major stars, and Penta is a major single star outside of his tag team, I wouldn't be mad at MJF versus Penta.
I mean I mean Penta and Phoenix weren't an actual like tag team before being put together in AEW, right?
Yeah, they had tag team. They were AAA tag team champions for like years.
Ah, that doesn't count. Um,
So things that happen in Mexico don't count.
yes, like that time I got Montezuma's Revenge. Uh, yeah, Penta needs a push towards the main event. Uh, Ray probably needs to earn it a little bit more. You know, go after the TNT title,
Yeah.
and then work his way. But either way, Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Brothers win.
All right. According to the list I'm looking at, the first match: Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry, in a final burial match. Ooh, ominous. This sounds like more of something you do to CM Punk rather than have in a match.
Well, the rumor is, uh, um, the rumor is Christian Cage leaving AEW.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, so they're literally bringing out the Golden Shovel. Alright, so Jungle Boy for the win.
Wait, hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. I just wanna. He. Okay.
Yes? No?
Ah, okay. Uh, Christian, don't hold me to this exactly, but um, we we could be seeing uh Christian at the Hall of Fame.
I mean, if there is a Hall of Fame. What, are they giving Edge another Hall of Fame ring?
No, it would be Christian on his own. And and now Finley is at the top of the list too. So
Hmm. Alright, the next match, Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks, the Hogan Street.
talk about screwing up a push. Good God. You know, I didn't like Ricky Starks, and then I liked Ricky Starks. Now I can't stand Ricky Starks again. You make him, you make him appear like he's on top of the world, and then he just ends up jobbing out to the jassholes.
I mean, isn't that
Uh,
what Chris Jericho does? He gets somebody that's more popular than him and says, hey, I'm going to do a rivalry with them, and then brings them down to his level.
but then again, but this feud has been uh
It hasn't got
so
Ricky any favors.
Yeah, it's been so uneven and unbalanced that yeah, I don't know if Ricky winning is even gonna matter.
I mean, it sort of
Yeah,
matter when what is his name, Eddie Kingston beat him a couple of years ago. I mean, actually, no, that was a year ago. A year ago at that this is the same event. Wow, and literally a year later, and Eddie Kingston quits.
so the curse of the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Apparently. That being said, if Ricky should win, and I think Ricky will win. At some point, Jericho has to, has to lose to somebody that isn't action spaghetti.
Or race car ravioli.
I believe it's either cannoli scooter. Alright,
Gesundheit.
um, next match we got, the Elite, Kenny Omega, and the Bucks versus the House of Black. Who wins, Scooter?
I just I think they just need to get rid of these trios titles. They're not working.
Well, I mean,
Um,
they literally cut CM Punk for those titles, so,
I would have loved to see just Omega versus Malachi,
I think everybody would like to see that match.
but I mean, there's a reason why there aren't many six-man tag titles. Yeah, because the idea is that they're for stables, and but eventually you end up throwing random groups together. And while that might work for the tag team division, a six-man tag, you know, okay, yeah, challengers don't win it this week. Next week they'll try it again with a different partner, and it becomes just one revolving, door of matches that don't matter, titles that don't matter, and talent really kind of being misused.
You would think
Either
AEW
way,
would have a problem with misusing talent.
either way, uh, I mean, we're for, I mean, Kenny's probably going to get back to being in the singles picture. So yeah, I think the House of Black takes it here.
I'm gonna say the Elite. There's no way that they won those titles back in January in that big, hoopla that they made out of it, just to lose those titles a month later to the House of Black. So the Elite. Alright, next match. Jamie Hayter defending the AEW Women's Championship against Soraya and Ruby Soho. This definitely seems drawn together, if you ask me.
Actually, this is one of the feuds where AEW has actually really developed it.
I mean, I think the story there was Hayter and Baker, Soraya and Tony, and Soho and Willow. That was kind of where they were going, and then
Well,
Soraya, who only had one match, gets a title shot.
I mean, well, since they put Willow in ROH now, um, yeah, the idea of okay, you have the AEW original, you have the AEW outsider, and then you have
The Runaway.
the one in the middle who is a half outsider, half original in Ruby. It's a very interesting dynamic. I just hope they let the match play out as is. No surprises, no debuts. Just let it happen, and I mean, otherwise, are we gonna see Paige in another handicap match this time against two women instead of men?
Hmm. So who wins this one?
Uh, uh, the company that makes Jergens, they win. Their stock's gonna go up through the roof after this match. Um, unless they do something really stupid and have Britt cost Jamie the title, Jamie's walking out with the women's title.
I couldn't agree more. Alright, John Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page in a Texas death.
Match.
Nope, it's just a
Just,
Texas death.
just Texas Death.
Hmm.
All right,
In San
all right.
Francisco.
So I mean, if it was a San Francisco death match, you would need a cable car, um, lots of rainbow streamers, um, and a lot of people going, "Yes, Queen." Um, I'm I'm wondering, as AEW fully explained what their Texas Death Match is going to be like, because the traditional Texas Death Match is you get the pinfall and then you have a certain amount of time to get up. Usually it's a count of 10. So you got to get a pin and then you got to make sure they stay down by knockout. They get up, the match continues again. Uh,
I think
you know,
the stipulation is, if John Moxley just collapses from being anemic from bleeding so much, or Hangman Page gets another concussion, because that kind of seems the way this is heading.
Hemophilia is running wild, brother. We're gonna need 10, 10 pints of AB negative on hold stat.
Yeah, basically. I mean, this match is definitely going to be sponsored by the Red Cross.
Bloody murder, bloody murder, bloody murder. It's now a wrestling match.
I mean, they did. Okay, I will give them this. They did build this story. It was an interesting story. The reason that they were fighting made sense. That being said, who going this far into a rivalry with these two guys, who does it really benefit?
Yeah, I thought this was done one match ago.
Right.
I mean, I mean, when AEW does something like this, it usually means something else is happening.
Well, I mean, if John Moxley wins, what did he really accomplish? He beat somebody that he's beaten before. It was more bloodier than it usually is, but he got that W. Didn't Hangman
Oh,
Page get his redemption in the first match?
I mean, we thought he did.
Is this basically not knowing what to do with these guys, so just keep them together for a little while longer?
I mean, unless this is a way for the Dark Order to break out, then there's no reason for another, Hangman Mox match.
But here we are, Texas that and San Francisco. Get get that grave ready for two.
um, you know what? I'm gonna say neither of them win.
Spontaneous combustion.
No, they get a double pin, and then they're both counted down. And then we get another Page Box match. This time, an exploding barbed wire light bulb, kendo stick, table thumbtack uh, match surrounded by 4 tanks of live piranhas with three giant man-eating lions hanging above the ring, waiting to drop down.
I mean, you make that joke, but that sounds like a fantastic match.
Sponsored by PETA.
Cool. Gotta get those sponsors in. Um, Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I don't necessarily care a lot about this match. That being said, I think Hangman's gonna win. Alright, Samoa Joe versus Wardlow for the AEW TNT Championship. Now that they actually put some effort and thought into this match, which I actually appreciate. And I want to see who wins. Um, that being said, who do you think wins who?
I mean, they put so much into Wardlow, uh, uh, into this that they're equating Wardlow to a literal Samson, that he's nothing without his hair. Um, I mean, honestly, I could see and make cases for both men winning. I could see and make cases for both men losing. Uh, Wardlow losing so he could finally get that the title match he has likely earned from MJF, considering.
He's the only guy he hasn't beaten at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I
so,
continue.
yeah. So, oh God. I'm gonna say Joe to retain.
I say Joe to retain and Powerhouse Hobbs to win on Wednesday.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. The Guns. The Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The Guns versus the Acclaim versus Triple J versus Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. Yeah, a main event in any Tokyo Dome. Um, even the gas station. Um, Scooter, who wins the match?
I mean, if we don't have like Danhausen and his guys singing the Ass Boys, I will be disappointed. Um, I mean, there's going to be comedy spots galore in this.
With more feud
Um,
than one.
I honestly don't think the Gun should have had the tag titles to begin with. Um, unless unless they somehow got their father to double cross the Acclaim.
Right.
Um,
Can you have Daddy Ass over turn on the Acclaimed at this point, considering how over they are?
no, no. And I kind of want to say Orange Cassidy and Danhausen.
What, for like shits and giggles?
Yeah, because I'd love to see Danhausen's reaction, especially when Danhausen himself thinks he's not going to win.
Considering how many tag teams they have, and they're just throwing Danhausen in the tag team, what does that say about everybody else that's in the tag team in AEW?
Eh, well, true. But then they split the best friends, or rather they split the two teams in the best friends. Um, so
I say the Guns to retain. I mean, this is a fatal four-way tag team match with two actual tag teams, and Jeff Jarrett and Danhausen. That's kind of how I see this. And the main event, the last match, the AEW World Championship match, 16-minute Iron-Man match, MJF versus Bryan Danielson. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to. I don't really have a lot of desire to actually see this match. I'm gonna speed it up to the last 15 minutes, and I'm gonna see what happens for that last 15 minutes. And what happened in the 45 minutes before that, couldn't kill less. Scooter, your thoughts?
I mean, this this is I bet we end up seeing something along the lines of Bryan Danielson taking a commanding lead, and then MJF gets himself disqualified, but keeps Danielson down so much he just gets repeated pinfalls.
Is that even allowed?
Yeah, there's nothing saying there's a rest period in between falls.
I guess.
I mean, the the whole thing about the this is that does MJF have it in him to go an hour?
Sure. I guess. No. Is is this match basically Tony Khan giving into Bryan Danielson's wishes to have an Iron Man match? Is that really all this really is? Because I don't think anybody was clamoring for a 60-minute Iron Man match in 2023.
Yeah.
Do we?
Yeah.
Does Bryan Danielson bleed?
Oh yeah. I mean, considering we're at the 1 year anniversary of Punk and MJF.
Was that a year ago?
Yep. Revolution last year.
Hmm.
And yeah, Brian Mox versus Danielson.
Yeah, that's right.
Uh, this is Danielson's second attempt at becoming AEW World Champion. Expect Matt to take every shortcut there is. Um,
Are you gonna watch the whole match, the whole 60 minutes, or are you gonna speed it up for the to the last to the
well,
20
well,
minutes?
I'm not going to have the ability to speed it up.
Oh, you're gonna watch it
Consider,
live.
consider I'll have it on the background.
Ah, you
Um,
poor bastard.
I mean, but I just don't see. I don't see Danielson walking out with the title.
Me neither. So MJF to retain.
Bingo.
Alright, so how many how many here? We got one, two, three, four. There's five out of 9 matches. There's 5 stipulation matches or gimmick matches, if you're counting the triple threat and the fatal 4-way. Two are definitely going to be bloody because it's a Texas death and a burial match. This is kind of on brand for AEW now.
Yeah.
Alright. Next, I think that'll conclude our coverage of AEW Resolution or Revolution or um, Evolution. They see the light in the sun. Um, and yeah, this will conclude this episode as a whole. Join us next week as we do a review of all the things that happened for this pay preview. Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment. We're on YouTube and Castbox. Of course, this was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Pale White Coffee. Um, Join us this Tuesday and Wednesday as we interview Mars the Specialist, and on Wednesday, Alyssa Marina. Um, and then again, yeah, next Saturday. And of course, you can follow the show at Wrestling with Eva on Twitter and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and a hell of a lot more. Um, you can follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Scooter?
As always, find me on Twitter at Scooter Dust. The remix still up in the air as pertains to the future of the remix. Uh, and And of course, you can revel in the entire campaign I did with the Smoking Dragons, along with Rico Constantino Jr. and the rest of the Smoking Dragons clan. Twitch.tv /Smoking Dragons, and I can announce that we will be getting a season 2 of our campaign, starting at starting this upcoming fall.
Will Phineas Cormac find love?
Who's Phineas Cormac?
Isn't that your guy that you have?
No, his name is Cordicus Tarkin.
That guy too. Takes place in Seattle. Looking for love.
No, it actually takes place in the Isle of Sesteros. Because it's yeah, it's Tommy Wiseau influenced.
For Coleco Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.